We're going to talk about 5 proven strategies that will increase your audience growth exponentially. So, this is the second video in audience growth for authors. So, for 3 videos in this 3-week series, I am going to be giving basically the best course I know how to give for free on how to grow an author platform. This is so important if you are an indie author and you want to sell more books. This is the best, most strategic way to build momentum and grow a following fast. And if you are a traditionally published author, you want to get to your next book deal, this is also essential for growing that platform. So let's get into it. Last week, we talked about content your readers crave, with a stress on content you crave and you love to write. So if you go to the last video, signing up below, you'll get the worksheets, my beautiful packet, and all of the videos you need to make this work. And so we were talking about content your readers crave that doesn't take time away from your writing schedule. So that's the first video. Let's move to the second video. So in this book, we're going to talk about the 5 strategies. But before this, because this works on all platforms, I work with this with my clients in a lot of different ways. And so it really is mix and match depending on what works best for you. So I want to take you into the workbook and really just look at this page. So if you download this workbook, we're going to talk about it together in this awkward way that I'm presenting it. I used to be a school teacher. Anyway, so I make a lot of worksheets. Anyway, so choosing a platform, I'm going to give you an outline of what you're doing here. So when you get onto this page, first, you just want to list all of the platforms you're considering. Just brain dump, get it all down on paper. Instagram, Substack, Discord, events. This strategy also works if you want to go to different conferences, Comic-Con, the AWP events, literary events, indie bookstores. All of it works. So put down any platform you're even considering right here. Then we break it down into inner and outer. So inner and outer means which platform do you enjoy the most? If you enjoy going to the Renaissance Festival, that could be a platform. If you enjoy conversing with all of the publication and literary people on Substack, that is inner resonance. So it works well for you. I like YouTube because I get to just say what's on my mind. I don't do a lot of editing because I want to devote time to writing. And so for me, it's just a really fun way to build community. So first, inner resonance of all of the platforms you're thinking about, which has the most inner resonance, and then outer resonance. Now, on that separate side, what platforms have the conversations that you want to have? So I'm Emily Tamayo Maher. I'm a book coach. There is an entire section of YouTube that's BookTube and AuthorTube. And so I know the kinds of conversations I want to have, people are having here. And so when we're choosing our platform, you can download the workbook right below, and it's really easy to just fill this out. Next, I want to talk about the strategies that over time have proven to be the most effective in growing an audience and a platform for your books. So, number 1 is saving time and batching content. So, this is a strategy where you block out 1 day a week or 2 days a month, is what I do, and you create the content that you'll then distribute throughout a given space of time. So time blocking and batching is actually wonderful for your manuscript and creative breakthroughs, because when you do it this way, you're actually taking your mind off your manuscript so your subconscious can process everything you're doing. And then when you come back, you're often fresh, you're looking at it from a new perspective, and you can have great breakthroughs. So this is a way to do it so that creating content and growing a platform doesn't bleed into your writing time. Next, momentum mapping. I call this momentum mapping. It's where you plan ahead of time sprints or series or launches that are going to have boundaries around them. So right now, I'm doing a series on audience growth. This has a boundary around it. I'm going to be really supporting, answering emails, and focusing on this series while it's out. And then I'll be able to take a step back. Now, I'm not going to be taking a step back because I'm really excited to get into the writing craft in September and August. So stay tuned for that because I'm going to be doing the rapid novel blueprint craft workshop. But either way, I'm taking time to focus. I'm mapping sprints, and then to stay consistent, I'll take a step back and focus on my writing. So this is kind of like time blocking in a month. So when your stuff is going out, you're interacting, and then you're drawing back. Next is the 80-20 rule. I love this. You are going to notice that when you put out content, some content is just exactly what people want. It spreads, it just grows your audience quickly. So about 20% of the content you produce is getting about 80% of the results. So you want to keep leaning in that direction. A funny secret from behind the scenes of what I do, audience growth for authors doesn't grow as much as talking about the craft, talking about outlining, and those other things I do. However, it's so important that for me, it's really worth it to create a resource where I just gather together everything I've learned from the past 7 years of audience growth and put it together. Repurposing. So these are the do's and don'ts of repurposing. So this is the fourth strategy. Repurposing and reblogging, recreating videos, recrafting posts around that 80-20 content, which just means that 20% of what you're creating is getting 80% of your results. And so you're moving in deep on that 20% that's giving you the best results. Repurpose, recraft, repeat that content. And this is important because a lot of people think of repurposing as creating a post and then just putting it on every platform. That does not work as well as really engaging more deeply on the same subject with an audience in one platform. So my original audience platform with which I grew my email list was my uh, Writer's Block Facebook group. That's available in the links below too. And so for years, I grew that group. I grew my email list, and we would do some of the same series and sprints and challenges over and over again. And it just got more powerful every time I did it. Repurposing works. And then the final thing is the snowball effect. So when you take these together, time blocking and batching, momentum mapping, 80-20, and repurposing, it's going to create more traction. And that traction is going to compound into audience growth. And that is really the secret. That is what makes growing your audience easier over time. You're not just reaching out into the void, trying to get people to discover your books. You're building an asset that continues to grow. And so your life gets easier. I have one more video on this, which is so important. And I can't wait to share it next week. So do this now. And then next week, we're going to be talking about the momentum machine. So this is where we plug in everything we've done thus far and we look at it from different angles until we've really strategized the best way for you to grow an audience without taking away time from writing and without feeling like you have two jobs. You can just focus on your writing. So this has been so much fun. I'm going to be back next week with more. Pick up the worksheet. You'll find the content prompts, the reflection questions, and you'll get a sneak peek of the momentum machine, which we're going to do next week. So much love. Talk soon. Bye.